His MVP. Goal swung, right field. Forget about it. Rangers strike first. Goes after the first one. Drills a high fly ball. Left center field. This game is tied. From Javier. Seager hits a high fly ball. Deep right field. A bomb in the first. Drive. It's tied. Seager smashes the ball down the line. Goodbye. Now Seager to right center field, way back there. It's gone again. Corey Seager does it again. It's Texas Rangers win the World Series. The Willie Mays Most Valuable Player Trophy presented by Chevrolet. Is there any doubt? Corey Seager.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of Right on Rangers Live, coming at you bottom of the seventh inning. Astros up 5-2 on the Rangers. Rangers have their second game in a row throwing one of their aces, and the second game in a row, the ace gives up 5+ runs in what were two of the biggest games of the season. Not ideal, and that's putting it lightly. Not ideal. Sean Armstrong in the ball game right now. We had, of course, Jake Meyer reaching on an error by shortstop Josh Smith. Like we said earlier, missing Corey Seager pretty bad right now. Offense-wise, defensive-wise as well. We've got 1-1 count right now on Smith. 239 average on the year. Sean Armstrong, obviously, been one of the more reliable Rangers pitchers. 239 ERA this season. See if they can keep it at a 5-2 ball game. You never know. But Rangers have 6 outs to play with. And, with some of the bullpen issues the Stros have had, you don't know. They had Brian Abreu throwing multiple innings last night. We'll see. Maybe the Rangers still catch some magic. I can't say I'm feeling overly confident, but that is the scenario that's in front of us right now. We've got a 1-2 count. Sean Armstrong delivers, and Smith is going to get called out on strikes. 1 down, and Jeremy Pena, Ranger killer, Jeremy Pena coming up to bat right now. All these losses are on Bochy, switching everything. I don't know if I would say every loss is on Bochy, but it is hard not to go back to that Sunday game where he benched Hellman and not feel like that's when it all shifted, right? You just won, 6 in a row. You were going for number 7, and you benched the guy that got you there. I always kind of felt like that was the moment. I can't blame Boch for everything that happened after that. It's too much of a cop-out of all of these players that have suddenly crapped the bed late. We can't put all this on Bochy. You've got guys majorly soiling the bed late. Look, you got Langford 0 for 2. I know he had a walk today. Big strikeout last night for Wyatt Langford as well. I'm not putting it all on Wyatt. I'm just saying we've got guys that are not producing right now. And there comes a point where it goes beyond Bruce Bochy. Texas Carnage, I probably could do a whole game if I wanted to. And maybe if we somehow, some way make it to the playoffs, you'll see me do some entire games. But I got to be honest, man, that is a long time to be sitting on this chair right here. I don't know if my ADD could handle it. I don't know. That's a long time. I'll probably get it done at some point if the Rangers ever feel like making the playoffs in the near future. But I don't know if I'm going to be doing that anytime soon. Yeah, look, Hellman, and it's a good point. Hellman does not pitch. The pitching has not been good these last 2 games. These last 2 games, man. Hey, Noah, what's good? Thanks for hanging out. I would be doing a lot better with the Rangers win right now, my guy. Doing a lot better. McJ, go Cowboys. Football season is about to be fully among us. Not that it isn't already, but you know what I mean. We will be transitioning to football sooner or later, maybe sooner rather than later at this rate. Now, here's a score that we have to keep our eyes on. The score of the Boston A's game, the A's Red Sox game, that is in the top of the 10th right now. I said it on the show last night. If the Rangers lose tonight and the Red Sox win, I find it really hard to convince myself that Texas is still going to be making the playoffs. I think that there is a world where, and look, I keep on moving the goalposts here, but it's all I know how to do as a diehard that just cannot give up. If you can get the Red Sox to lose tonight, which is not a given, A's right now are in the top of the 10th. They have 2 outs, runners on first and third. If the Red Sox can somehow lose tonight, you still have a shot. You're only out 3 games. You've got 9 left. That's not totally undoable. But if you go down 4 games with 9 left, you do have the tiebreaker over the Red Sox, which is nice. It's not impossible, but 9 games left, 4 games out, it's just not likely to happen. It's not likely. Winning tonight would go a long way. I think that the Rangers have a lot of work to do for that to happen. But we will bring you the A's and Red Sox score as it comes right now. Again, top of the 10th inning in that one. You've got Kansas City, by the way, taking a lead over Seattle. That's interesting. Seattle had just gone up 4-3, by the way. It is now 6-4 Kansas City. Appreciate all y'all hanging out. I really do appreciate it. I know these games aren't always easy to hang out for, but I appreciate all the diehards still joining me. We ride it out. We go down with the ship. That's what we've done every single year. We're going to keep on doing it. Back-to-back years, it has been rough. You're just hoping there's still a shred of magic left these last 9 games. Going to need to get some fortunate results, though. By the way, again, first and third, Nick Kurtz up to bat right now for the A's. First and third, top of the 10th. Boston and Oakland. Well, not Oakland anymore, but y'all know what I mean. The future Las Vegas A's. That has a better ring to it. With a chance to score here and go ahead of the Red Sox late, that would be very fortuitous for the Rangers. This is the series that gets everyone fired. McJ, you might not be far off. I mean, and I think there's probably a little bit more of that being talked about on the player's side than on the coach's side. I think this is the series where you are going to take a long, hard look at some of these players 1 through 9 and really ask yourself, is this guy a franchise cornerstone? Is this guy even a franchise piece worth keeping around for multiple seasons? Texas Carnage, never. We're not going to become an A's fan, man. None of that nonsense. No A's fan on this channel. Absolutely not. We're going to enjoy going to Rangers games in Las Vegas, that's for sure. But no. No A's conversion happening with Right On Rangers. No, thank you. Nick Kurtz is going to strike out on a foul tip, and the Red Sox are going to have a chance to walk this off in the bottom of the 10th inning. It is just not going our way tonight, baby. Not going our way tonight. Seattle about to lose. Astros sweep Silver Boot and move into first place. Logan, enjoy it. Enjoy it, man. What a frustrating night. Seriously. Caden, what's up, man? By the way, 7-4, Seattle now trailing after taking the lead 4-3. We're doing some scoreboard watching tonight. Thanks for hanging out. Of course, we're hoping the Rangers make a comeback, but it's looking bleak right now. You got 6 outs to play with. Cody Freeman up to bat right now. He's going to take strike 1, a called strike. Kind of showing bunt there. It was literally a perfect pitch right down the middle. Feels kind of silly wasting that one. But Cody is a guy that takes pitches, works the count. We'll see what he's got up his sleeve here. Cody does have one of the 2 RBIs on the evening, along with Josh Young, who had an RBI double earlier in this game. Cody 1 for 2 on the night. This is his third AB. Did strike out in the other at bat. Ball 1. 1-1 count. Rangers down by 3, down 5-2. We are hoping for a miracle, Rangers Nation. We're hoping for a miracle right now. Cody's going to work into a positive count here, 2-1. Pitch number 4 incoming shortly. Cody on the year, 235 average, 646 OPS. He's going to take ball 3 here, 3-1 count. Sure would be nice getting this guy on. Look, Rangers scored 4 runs in the 8th inning last night. It can happen. Pitch number 5 on the way shortly here from O'Kurt. And Cody Freeman is going to get the party started here in the 8th inning. He draws a walk. Rangers are in business. It'll turn over to the top of the lineup. You got Smith coming up, Langford, and then Peterson. Smith, Langford, Peterson coming up next. If anybody gets on, it will be Tellez. Actually, I take that back. Ezekiel Duran is going to come on and pinch hit for Josh Smith. Probably a good idea. Josh 0 for 3 on the night. Just not going to go well when your 1 and 2 are 0 for 5 with a walk on the evening. You got Josh Smith going 0 for 3, Wyatt Langford going 0 for 2. Man, it would be nice. Can we get Zeke on with a blast from Langford to tie it up? Let's go, baby. Let's go. Whew. Can you denounce the offense? I've done it many times. Rangers are going to need to make some huge changes next year at multiple positions. I do think that we're going to have that conversation plenty. Right now, we're going to finish out this game. We're going to see what else happens around the league with the scoreboard, and then we'll let the dust settle where it does. But right now, we're going to save the offseason talks for just a little bit longer. And Zeke Duran promptly singles on a little Texas leaguer right in front of Jake Myers, and the Rangers have runners on first and second. First and second, and Wyatt Langford comes up with a chance to tie the game or keep the train moving. I'll take either one at this point. Not going to get greedy. By the way, the Red Sox, chance to walk it off here. They just sacrifice bunted after an intentional walk of Nathaniel Lowe. Nate Lowe getting intentionally walked. Red Sox bunt, and it is now second and third. 1 out. Sogard up to bat right now for the Red Sox with a chance to walk it off in the bottom of the 10th inning. Sure would be nice to get an A's win here. It is not looking great, but I think that would be very helpful unless the Rangers can find a way to come back. If the Rangers come back here, the A's score, the Red Sox score matters a little bit less. Rangers lose, and that A's score looms large. Wyatt Langford working himself into a 1-1 count. Started out 1-0. He's going to take a called strike here. I don't know if that would have been a great pitch for him to hit. It was low. It was inside, right on the black. Come on, Wyatt. Let's go. Let's make this interesting. That's all we ask for half the time. Can we make things interesting? Speaking of, the Red Sox are going to walk it off here. And so, the Rangers, you got to win tonight. You got to win tonight. Rangers have to find a way. I mean, look, you have Seattle losing tonight. That is fortuitous. I think that there absolutely is a path where maybe Houston or Seattle sweeps and the Rangers sweep at home, and maybe they find themselves right back in the thick of it. But it is looking bleak right now, y'all. It is looking bleak. The Red Sox have won. If the Rangers were to lose this game, they would be 4 behind the Red Sox. Wyatt Langford right now is working this count, man. It is a 2-2 count at this point. Ball in the dirt. You look at the wild card standings right now, and the Houston Astros up 4 games currently. They would push that to 5 games by beating the Rangers today. The Red Sox are 3.5 games up. They are going to move to 4 games up. And if the Rangers lose, that would go to 4.5. If the Rangers win, that would stay at 3.5. Gotta win. Gotta find a way. We don't play tomorrow. You gotta find a way. Wyatt Langford hanging tough here. Langford hanging tough. 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up here. Just fouled off an 82-mile-an-hour slider. Here's pitch 7. Langford is going to ground into a double play. It's just so unclutch all the way around, man. It's just so unclutch. Nobody wants to step up in a big moment. Merrill Kelly doesn't want to step up in a big moment. Jacob deGrom doesn't want to step up in a big moment. And I got to eat crow. I championed deGrom all year long, being a guy that you just want to have the ball in a big game. And deGrom let us down today. I'm not going to go scorched earth on deGrom. He's one of the best pitchers in baseball still, I think. He came back down to earth a little bit this year. But granted, we got a full year of health out of him. I'm not going to sit here and trash Jacob deGrom. But there's no way around it. Jacob deGrom got dusted in his biggest start of the year. Cody Freeman on third base, by the way. Rangers have an opportunity to at least make this a 2-run ball game here. Could have been a lot more promising of an inning. Wyatt Langford, Josh Smith go a combined 0 for 6 with a walk on the evening. Wyatt may get one more at bat depending on how things shake out here. Higgy in a 2-0 count. Road Higgy has been very, very solid for Texas this year. Look, getting a run here would be big. Let's get a run. Come on. 3-0. And if Higgy is able to get on, Rowdy Tellez would come up next. And look, you could potentially sub Berger. You'd probably see Berger pinch hit if you came up to the next spot in the order, Rowdy spot with the lefty on. It would probably be Jake Berger pinch hitting. Let's see it. Kyle Higashioka walks. So look, you got Jake Berger coming on with an opportunity here. Still 3-run bomb in play. 3-run bomb is still in play. Whatever the Astros do, we'll see what they decide. You'd imagine they're probably going to leave Okert in the game here. I don't think Brian Abreu is available today. Wow. I am shocked at this move. No Berger. Dylan Moore. I mean, no disrespect to Dylan Moore, but I thought this would have been pretty obvious Berger territory right here. All right, so they're removing Okert from the game. We'll see who they bring in. Dylan Moore has been announced as the pinch hitter. I mean, you've got Hellman and you've got Berger. I don't know if there's any kind of ploy. Maybe Boch goes to Berger or Hellman here. And now that Brian King comes into the ballgame, not sure. Brian King, by the way, is a lefty. I don't know what the move here is. Maybe Dylan Moore is the guy. Maybe they feel good about Dylan Moore. But perhaps they decide to go to Hellman or they decide to go to Berger. Personally, I'm going Berger here. I'm not really sure what Dylan Moore in the move is. I'd love to be totally wrong. Dylan Moore smashes a 3-run bomb, and we all say that we knew it all along. But I think Jake Berger would appear to be the play here. Dude's got the pop. You need a 3-run bomb. You need at least something in the gap to score 2 here. Hopefully Dylan can get the job done, but I am a little surprised to not be seeing Berger right now. Yeah, Swolger, kind of with you. I mean, look, I don't know how much confidence we have in Berger with the season on the line, but Dylan Moore with the season on the line, things that I would have been shocked to hear if you told me before the season started. September 17th, Dylan Moore is going to be up The last hope of the Rangers season hanging in the balance. We do still have a chance, Emmanuel, but it's not a great chance at all. Not a great chance at all. So, by the way, the Rangers, as of right now, you look at the division, they are currently 4.5 games out of the division. They would move to 5 games out with a loss. Astros would be officially 5 games up on Texas. Actually, yes, it would be 5 games. Mariners, if they were to win tonight, which it's not looking super likely, they would drop into the 3rd wild card spot. Rangers, for all intents and purposes, a few games out. Dylan Moore, by the way, is going to fly out here to end the inning. That's got to be a huge question for Bruce Bochy. Why Dylan Moore there? That's got to be a huge question for Boch. I don't know why you don't go Burger there. That doesn't make a ton of sense to me. Look, what's done is done, but I just don't understand Dylan Moore, why you're going him in that moment when you got Jake Burger on the bench. I mean, Burger has been one of the better second half guys. I just don't know or get why you're not going Berg there. It makes little to no sense to me. Y'all tell me if you disagree and you think Dylan Moore's the guy in that spot. I just do not understand batting Dylan Moore in that moment. You had Jake Burger right there. I know Burger's been bad, Soldier, but he's been one of the better second half hitters. Let's just see what it is. Burger in his last 7. Maybe it is just terrible and wasn't even worth it. Berg over his last 7 games. Look, he's got a 748 OPS. I mean, what was Dylan Moore? I guess we'll look and see what Moore was doing over his last 7. Moore over his last 7, 273. I guess hitting a little bit better. Only 11 ABs in 7 games. I don't know. It's a weird move to me. It is a weird move to me. Not a big fan. Yeah, I think a lot of people were surprised that they picked him up. And Pritchman, yeah, I think that a lot of people were surprised. I do. Trent, I'm with you on Jacob deGrom. Just so unfortunate, man. What do I think about Bochy coming back next season? Let me put it to you this way, and I've said this a lot about Boch. You're probably not going to do a whole lot better than Bruce Bochy. I know some of you guys really think so. I'm not of that mindset. I just don't think you're going to do a whole lot better than Boch. Can you maybe just keep the ship where it's at? Yeah. I think you could potentially get worse from a managerial perspective. I think you don't always know what you got till it's gone, and I do think Bruce Bochy going somewhere else to coach or retiring, I don't know how big of a win it is for Texas. I really don't. I will say this. I think beyond Bruce Bochy, getting better players is going to go a long way. Right now, the Rangers do not have elite talent up and down the roster. They've got some good players, and we've talked about multiple of them. You know, Corey Seager, I still consider to be an elite player. You've still got some really, really solid pitchers, Nathan Eovaldi. And despite Jacob deGrom's outing today, I still consider deGrom one of the better pitchers in the game of baseball. You've still got some talent on this team, but I don't know how much you blame Boch and how much you blame the talent that just hasn't produced consistently enough. I personally am always going to go to the players first and foremost. Am I going to criticize Bruce Bochy for the moves that he makes? Am I going to critique him benching the hottest hitter on the team, Mike Hellman, for 2 games in a row, Sunday and Monday? Absolutely. And he deserves it. There's no reason why you should be benching Mike Hellman at all in this stretch of games. And it happened again tonight. It doesn't make any sense to me. So yes, I think Boch deserves criticism where it's warranted, but it's ultimately on the players. There are some no-brainers that need to be in the lineup every day that haven't been hitting. Wyatt Langford is a perfect example. Wyatt Langford has not been good in this series. At least not good enough. I'm not saying that he hasn't done anything. I know he went 2 for 3 on Monday night, and I know he's walked his last 3 games. You needed something impactful from Wyatt Langford in this series, and you got 2 for 10 with 3 walks. I mean, Wyatt Langford's the best hitter on the team right now, and he has 0 RBI in this series. I know RBI isn't the end-all, be-all for measuring sticks, but you needed something special from Wyatt, and you didn't get it. And you needed something special from guys like Jock Peterson, Adolis Garcia, throw his name in the hat. Jock Peterson in this series, 2 for 8. No RBI, no homers. I don't even know if he has an extra base hit. You needed special from some of your guys at the top of the lineup, and you just didn't get it. You got mid, you got average, you got mediocre, and we're here right now, 5-2, going in to the top of the 9th inning. Rangers, if they were to lose this game, would be 5 games out from the Astros, who would take first place, I believe, with a win. Yeah, it looks like it. That Seattle game finally went final 7-5. I don't know if they've updated standings yet. We shall see. Bottom of the 8th still, by the way. I jumped the gun. 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. Seattle, they fall to 83-69. Texas with the loss would fall to 79-74. So you would be 4.5 games out of a playoff spot. And look, you don't have the tiebreaker over Seattle. So it's still just any way that you look at it. Your best bet is probably going to be with Boston. It's probably going to be your best bet. You got a tiebreaker over Boston, and you're 4.5 games behind Boston. It just doesn't help that Boston won today. Isaac, I totally agree. That was a killer. If Boston would have lost today, you would have been 3.5 back of Boston with the tiebreaker, 9 games left. That's still not great, but it at least gives you a little bit more hope. To be 4.5 games back of Boston and Seattle with 9 games left is just really, really tough. Phil Maton, by the way, in right now to face Caratini. It's a 2-0 count so far. 2-1 now. Strike up at the top of the zone. I sure hope your Tigers sweep Boston, Noah. 100%. It's going to take somebody getting swept, somebody really soiling the bed late, and the Rangers just surging at home, which can happen. I mean, I think we all know. We've watched the Rangers. When they get back home, there's been a couple of series where they've melted, but there's been a number of series, number of homestands, they reel off wins like it's nothing. Wouldn't surprise me for the Rangers to go back home and win some games. We're going to see what they're made of. This was a extremely disappointing series. Ground ball, nice play by Zeke Duran. Beautiful play. I got to say, I like Zeke Duran playing shortstop better than I do Josh Smith. And I know that they are lefty-righty, but I love Zeke Duran playing shortstop over Josh Smith. Love the arm that he's got. That arm is a big reason why we got that out there. All right, 5-2 going to the top of the 9th. Here we go. Need a miracle. Adolis Garcia, Alejandro Osuna, Josh Young, if anybody gets on. Time, baby. Ian, I'm with you. We still got 3 outs. I'm going to believe. I'm not going to write off the season until the elimination number is 0, y'all. I'm just not going to do it. I can't do it. I'm not going to. I'm going to wait until that elimination number says 0. If y'all need to call it right now, do your thing. I'm going to watch this one play out, but I'm going to be 100% real with you. It is not looking good. It's not. So am I giving up? No. Do I think that right now it would take some very fortunate events For the Rangers to get in, yes. Even if you win all 9 games, it's not a guarantee that you get in when you're 4.5 games out. You're 4.5 games out, man. It's just not a guarantee to get in. Even if you win 9 in a row, you got to have somebody go on a losing streak. Somebody, lose 7 of their next 9, something like that. It really would take something extremely fortunate. Soldier, that is the irony, isn't it? I mean, the Astros, let's not rub salt in it too much here, Soldier, but the Astros, they moved their best pitchers to throw against Seattle over the weekend. And so you're thinking, as a Rangers fan, we've got it set up here. We're not going to face any of any of the Astros' better pitchers. And look, we handled Framber Valdez last time. Hunter Brown, we've kind of been up and down against. But I totally agree. It's incredibly ironic. Incredibly ironic, man. Can't count on the young guys every game. Ryan, you said it well, and we kind of have talked about that in so many words. Look, the young guys, look, Cody Freeman, 1 for 2 with a walk and an RBI. Young guys are still coming through, but look, you're right. Ryan, you're 100% right. At some point, you've got to have Wyatt Langford, Jock Peterson, Josh Smith. You got to have these guys stepping up and delivering big knocks. And it's just not happening as Adolis goes down 0-2, called strike 1, kind of middle in, a little high, and then he fouls off a pitch right down the middle. What else is new for the Rangers this season? Oh, boy. Keep on rolling. And Dolly is going to make the first out of the inning here. Rangers don't get that ever-important leadoff hitter on. Dolly grounds out meekly to the pitcher. And the Rangers are 2 outs away from being in a very precarious position. Isn't that how it works, though? I mean, that is really quintessential. You miss the ball right down the middle on pitch 2. You foul it off, right? I mean, no, it's not technically a miss, but you cannot do anything with the ball right down the middle. And so instead, you swing at a pitch in on the hands, and you ground it off softly to the pitcher. Seager and Simeon back, look, I cannot say that it's going to make a huge difference either. Dan, I think Seager, any lineup is better with Seager in it. Marcus Simeon, I think you could go either way. We need a true leadoff 100%. I've gone off on Josh Smith as a leadoff hitter so much. I'm trying not to overdo it, but I just do not understand why they continue to hit Josh Smith, a guy with a 706 OPS that does not routinely take walks, that hits the ball extremely soft by and large. I don't understand why they continue to have this love affair with Josh Smith at the top of the order. Duck, I know that you just followed the other day, but I've been railing on that all month and really all summer. I do not understand why they continue to do it. It was a great idea back in March and April when we had nobody else hitting and Josh Smith was actually coming through. Josh Smith hasn't really been himself, hasn't been high quality Josh Smith since probably May or June. Is that being generous? Look at Josh Smith's second half stats. You will not enjoy it. You won't. Rangers are 0-4 since Dolly came off the IL. It's honestly everybody's worst fear confirmed. That's what literally, I don't want to say everybody, but that's what a lot of us had in the back of our minds. What are these stars coming back from the IL going to do to this club's psyche, to their mojo, to the momentum? And I think you're getting your answer as Mike Hellman flies out to the third baseman, Carlos Correa. And the Rangers are down to their final out with the Jungle Cat. The only thing standing in the Astros' way of taking a 5-game lead over the Rangers in the division and in the playoff race. And for the Silver Boot. Pitch number 1, a ball that probably should have been called a strike, just hits the top of the zone, and King doesn't get the call. Josh Young had a big RBI double that pulled the Rangers within one. It was 2-1 at that point after the Josh Young double. Cody Freeman would go on to tie the game at 2 moments later. And the Rangers have not scored since that moment in the second inning. Another quintessential Rangers. And by the way, right now, 2-1 count. Another quintessential Rangers trend. Score early and never score again. And that is going to do it. Rangers are retired 1-2-3 by Brian King in the 9th inning. A beautiful play by Jeremy Pena, who has shined against the Rangers all series long. That is a man on a mission. I was tough on Jeremy Pena at the beginning of the year. Obviously, y'all know Corey Seager, my favorite player. And Jeremy Pena has been good all year long. Got to give him credit. He owned the Rangers this year, and it's fitting he makes a play like that to end the series. Respect to him. And that pains me to have to say out loud, but even I can recognize greatness. And Jeremy Pena was great in this series, and he has had a great 2025. Yep, there's Berger. You wonder what he's thinking after a game like this. I still say hitting Dylan Moore over Jake Berger doesn't make a ton of sense. Off day tomorrow. At least the boys get to go back home, get a little home cooking, and play the Marlins and the Twins. But shoot, at this rate, it's tough to get this out of your mouth. It really is. It is tough to get the taste of a loss and a series sweep like this out of your mouth. Look, is it over? Not yet, but is it very, very close? Are we on the edge? Yes, we are teetering over the edge right now. I know some of y'all are ready to call it a season. We're not going to do that, but we're going to be totally 100% real, no sugarcoating. You don't control your own destiny any longer, and you are going to need some very fortuitous results with teams losing ahead of you in order to have a chance here. Hey, if you're here for the emotional support, Justin, I'm here to give it. Look, you're not going to get a scorched earth from me. I'm not feeling it tonight. I've done the anger stuff. I have. Y'all saw me get fiery the other night. I've done it. It's sadness tonight. I'm not even going to lie. 100% transparent here. It's just sadness, depression tonight. I've been angry. I've gone through that emotion. I'm on to another stage right now. It's just sadness and depression with the Rangers doing this with so much promise coming out of that last week against the Brewers and against the Mets, a week in which they went 5-1. Improbably, nobody saw the Rangers going 5-1 last week. You come into this series with Houston. Swolger made a really solid point. I know some of y'all can't see all the YouTube comments. The Astros threw their best arms against the Mariners. And so you just thought, hey, you know, we're going to have an opportunity here. We're going to have an opportunity. Or, excuse me, Astros threw the best arms over the weekend, and you just thought, this is lining up perfect. And yes, I do feel like Sunday, Bruce Bochy, the lineup on Sunday messed with the momentum a little bit. But I cannot give the players a free pass and blame Bruce Bochy exclusively. The players did not hit. And the players that we are counting on to pitch well did not pitch well. Merrill Kelly, Jacob deGrom, 2 duds in a row. That's not Bruce Bochy. Wyatt Langford, Jock Peterson, no RBI in this series. That's not Bruce Bochy. Bochy has not been perfect, and he deserves his fair share of criticism. And perhaps he deserves his fair share of criticism for how the season has gone as a whole. I don't think that is inaccurate. But let's put the onus on the right party, and that is the players. The players did not come through when you needed them to the most. And we can talk about Bochy all day long, all night long. We can break down his every move. But the reality is, you had big key spots to win, to come back, to make it a ball game in a series. And you saw the players, more often than not in this series against the Astros, completely melt. And Bruce Bochy does deserve his fair share of blame, but keep it 100 with where the blame should really belong. And that's with the players. I do think that CY, I saw a little bit, McJ, you throwing this out there. I think CY deserves his fair share of blame as well. CY made several bets at the beginning of this season. He bet on a lot of rebounding that never happened. He bet on a Marcus Semien rebound. It didn't happen. CY bet on an Adolis Garcia rebound. It didn't happen. He bet on Jonah Heim not being as bad as he was in 2024 when Heim was a bottom 5, not percentile, literally a bottom 5 offensive player in this league. And Jonah Heim nearly has a sub 600 OPS this year. He also bet on other players rebounding as well. And it just didn't work out. He bet on Evan Carter having a great 2025. Evan Carter was often injured and was inconsistent. There are so many different things that we could look at, but it's always going to go back to the players. And I just would love to see the Rangers not blow it all up in the offseason, but take a long, hard look at some of these guys that have potential, but have not got it done with the long runway that they have been given. Josh Young, I'm looking at you. Josh Young has been given plenty of runway to be good in this league and in this team and in this franchise and organization. And so far, Josh Young, despite the hit tonight, a 689 OPS on the season. I don't care what you've done for me lately in this case when the entire body of work is a sub 700 OPS for a corner infielder. The Rangers have a problem at first base as well. And it's likely that Jake Berger is probably going to be the first baseman in 2026, barring some kind of crazy signing. These are the types of moves, though, that are hard because the potential is there. Jake Berger has the potential to be a 30 to 40 home run player. Josh Young has the potential to be a 25 to 30 home run, 85 to 95 RBI player. Gold Glover. And you're just not getting it. And so the tension is, when do you give up? When do you move on? How long do you ride it out? And the Rangers have ridden it out for a couple of years now. 24, 25. I think it's time. It's time to make some changes in the offseason. Bruce Bochy may or may not be back. I think that he'll be welcome back if he wants to. I don't think that CY is at all considering firing him or not re-signing him if he wants to come back and manage in 2026. I think it will be entirely a Bruce Bochy decision. I don't think CY is going into Bruce Bochy's office, hey, we're not picking you up and we're going a different direction. I can't see it happening. As much as I know some of y'all would love to see it happen, I don't think it's happening. The Rangers need to blow up multiple positions in the offseason. Could they limp into the playoffs, maybe make a little bit of noise, maybe make a deep run? Nothing's impossible. Do they still need to consider majorly overhauling the offensive side of the roster? Yes. We need to get new players. We need to get some fresh blood onto this team in 2026. Maybe it's some of the young guys. Maybe it's signing some free agents with some of the money that is going to be freed up with guys like Tyler Mahle, John Gray, especially leaving. Jonah Heim, I cannot see coming back in 2026. I don't see Adolis Garcia coming back either. You're going to have opportunities to get some new blood into the franchise, into the organization. You just got to make sure that they're the right moves. Going back to McJay's point, CY, you make a big signing with Jock Peterson, it hasn't gone well. You paid Jock Peterson $18.5 million a year to be a sub 200 hitter. That is a terrible free agent deal. And the only thing that you take solace in is in 2026, surely Jock Peterson can't be as bad as what he was this year. So frustrating. Yes, the end is near. And yes, it is not looking good. Have we given up? No. And until that elimination number says 0, we will not be giving up. We'll be covering this team as well as we ever have. And if you need a place to come hang out post-game, you know I'm going to be here. We've got an off day tomorrow. Get home, get some home cooking, sleep in the home bed, recollect, recalibrate, and then you come back against Miami, against Minnesota, ready to do some work, ready to take 6 in a row. I think that's what the Rangers probably need to do. I think 5-1 could potentially be manageable. We did say last night on the show, you've got to go 8-2. 7-3 would be borderline make it or not. 6-4, and you're not making the playoffs. You got to go at least 7-3 to even have a shot. 8-2 is probably your best bet, and the Rangers have already lost one game. The Rangers essentially have one more loss that they can afford to give. One more loss in 9 games. You've basically got to go 8-1 to have a shot. 7-3, if you get lucky, might do the job. Might. But you essentially have one more loss to give, at best 2. You just would have loved to have seen the Rangers win the Silver Boot. That would have been a great consolation for losing the series in Houston, a series you really wanted to win. But no doubt the Rangers have built themselves an almost impossible hole to climb out of. But the elimination number is not at 0. The playoff odds are not at 0. There's still a chance. And so we will continue to bring you the best coverage we can, late game, post game. And I hope you'll continue to hang out. I want to encourage everybody, don't give up on this team. The best stories in baseball, some of the best, have come from moments like this. A team looked dead in the water. They come out of nowhere. They make something happen. And look, that is the romantic in me for this sport and for this team. You never know. We might see something beautiful here down the stretch. The Rangers might go ahead and just go down in flames. You never know. Let's see how this plays out. The off day, I think, is going to be good tomorrow. I think the players need it. I'm sure the managers, the coaching staff does. I think we all do. We'll get the day off tomorrow, watch some football, come back on Friday, ready to go. Ready to get some wins against inferior competition. You're not taking the Marlins for granted. You're not taking the Minnesota Twins for granted. But they're teams that you should beat. And the Rangers have been one of the best teams at home all season long. We know it's very possible they could win 6 straight at home. Very, very possible. Maggie, appreciate the gift. Thank you so much. And if I missed anybody giving a gift, I'm so sorry. Forgive me, but thank you for your generosity. Rangers could win 6 in a row at home. It's not an impossibility. We've seen them do it before. It's not like we're pointing to no evidence, nothing. The Rangers have done this before. And they could do it again. You've essentially got 1, maybe 2 losses to play with the rest of the year. You need to go at worst 7-3 to have a shot. 8-2 is preferable. 9-1, even better. But the Rangers winning 9 straight games, while not totally impossible, I cannot say is probable at this point. We'll see what happens. I am a little deflated after this series, y'all. I'm not going to lie, but I just can't give up, and I won't. And I'll take your comments now. I appreciate y'all hanging out. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting the show. And now let's give back. I know we got some back and forth going on YouTube right now, but I'm going to take some comments, TikTok, X, YouTube, all you guys. Look, everything is substance. We'll try and get through, all right? So, hey, fire away. And in terms of the breakdown, look, you only had a few Rangers with hits tonight. You had Cody Freeman. He had a good game, 1 for 2 at the walk. Josh Young, 1 for 4 with an RBI in the second inning as well. Osuna, 1 for 3. Badoli, 0 for. Peterson was 1 for 3. Langford, 0 for 3. Josh Smith, 0 for 3. The biggest bats, the bats that you needed, just did not come through tonight. And then your ace, Jacob deGrom, 5 earned runs. The night after Merrill Kelly gives up 6 earned runs. It's just the exact opposite of what you needed. Props to the Rangers pen once again. I think the Rangers pen is probably your bright spot, along with maybe performances by Cody Freeman. And you maybe look at a guy like Alejandro Osuna as well, with maybe a decent game offensively. Josh Young. But look, Rangers bullpen throws 4 shutout innings, and they didn't allow a hit. This bullpen continues to be really, really good, which makes it all the more depressing that they may not get a chance to show it off in October. This bullpen, back-to-back nights, has been phenomenal, limiting damage, keeping the Rangers in the game. Right? Jacob deGrom left this game after 5 innings, and the score at that point was 5-2. And that's how this game ends. Credit to the Astros bullpen for doing the same exact thing as the Rangers pen did. But this back-to-back nights now that the Rangers pen has thrown up a goose egg, one of the best pens in the league, if not the best, and they may not have a chance to show it off in October. Appreciate all y'all. Alex, I'm with you. Brando, I don't think deGrom is overrated. I think what you're seeing from deGrom is fatigue. I think deGrom has not thrown this many innings in games in a long, long time. I don't know if I would ever say deGrom's overrated. deGrom's 37 years old. And I think everybody expects a little bit of regression naturally. Bro's 47. 37, my bad. Not trying to tack on that much age to the guy. He's 37 years old. He hasn't pitched this many innings in forever. He's not overrated. But I do think he's fatigued. And if the Rangers do not win, I think every single game in this Marlins series, I'm not sure Jacob deGrom pitches again for Texas in 2025. I think I could very easily see them sitting him down if the Rangers do not pick up maybe, I think, 3 wins in a row, or at least win this series. If you don't take 2 out of 3 against Miami, I don't think there's any way Jacob deGrom is pitching again. John, I'm with you. It definitely felt like when Jacob deGrom had the first inning that he did, it felt like it was just not going to be a great outing for him. And he settled down a little bit, and it looked like maybe he was going to find a way to get to 6 innings. It just wasn't meant to be. Was not meant to be. We keep going. deGrom definitely needs to get sent to a nursing home. A lot of Jacob deGrom slander. I just can't go there. I mean, look, the guy's been healthy all year. Yeah, he definitely choked in the biggest game of the year. There's no way around it. But I'm not here for the Jacob deGrom slander. The man has been reliable this year. Has he been standard, typical deGrom, the guy in the 2010s that was dominating the league? At times this year, yeah, he actually was. I think he was in the top 3-4 for Cy Young for a little bit of time there, especially in the, maybe spring to early summer months. But Jacob deGrom, I think, is facing the end of a marathon right now, right? The legs are on fire. He is totally exhausted. I think that he is feeling it. And that's not a great sign for October if the Rangers were miraculously able to get in. That's not a great sign. Seager has missed 200 days since he's been a Ranger. Corey Seager's missed a lot of games. Don, I'm sorry to hear you say that, man. But do what you got to do, brother. I think anybody could vouch, though, that I've been pretty vocal about Josh Smith. And I think if you watched any one of my recent videos, you would see I've been critical of Boch as well. But I'm not going to blame the manager over the players. The manager doesn't swing the bat. The manager does not throw the ball. But, Don, if you got to take off, God bless you, brother. Astros, cheaters, yeah, look. I don't think anybody's going to get over that in Rangers Nation, but the Astros, this series, we're just better. We're just better. Hurts to say. 1950 Grandpa, appreciate it, man. Thanks for the follow. Yeah, look, Astros win the silver boot, 7-6. It was close once again. They didn't get it done. Matt, I agree. It was not great with Bochy in the lineups at times. I still say the best Rangers hitters in this lineup just didn't come through. We can definitely blame Bochy. We can definitely assign him some blame. But at the same time, I do not think you can sit there and blame a manager. I don't get that at all. And look, as somebody that's been around the game for a long time, played it, coached it, I'm never going to blame a coach in the game of baseball over a player. It would have to be pretty egregious. But over a 162-game season, I have no clue why anyone would blame Bochy over a player that's swinging the bat, that's pitching the ball. It doesn't make any sense to me. Were there some moves down the stretch that I didn't agree with that Bochy made that I do think directly cost the Rangers? Yes. Am I going to say Bruce Bochy is the reason why the Rangers aren't going to the playoffs or might not get to the playoffs this year? Absolutely not. If some of these players could even have played average over the entire season, it wouldn't even be a discussion with Boch. It wouldn't. Nobody would be talking about Boch if Jock Peterson could have even hit 230 this year. If Jonah Heim could have figured out a way to hit 230 or 240. If Marcus Semien could have hit 260, 270. If Corey Seager could have been available. All these things have nothing to do with Bruce Bochy. We can blame Boch for certain things, 100%, and I have, and I will. Let's not take the onus off the guys in the box swinging the bat. And swinging it pretty terribly at times, if I do say so myself. Boot does stay in Houston, unfortunately. Rangers have been very inconsistent throughout the season. Trent, the bargain bin bats. Yeah, look, Jock Peterson, I don't know if we can call Jock a bargain bin bat. Dude costs $18.5 million a year. Like we were saying with McJay's comment on YouTube, that's a CY thing. That's something you look at CY, bro. We paid Jock Peterson $18.5 million. We're paying Jock $37 million to bat 180. That's something you can definitely point to CY at. I still say at the end of the day, Jock, blame him more than CY. I don't think anybody could see Jock Peterson's fall from where he was last year to this year coming. I don't think anybody could foresee that. And look, the Rangers have pretty good pro scouts. They really do. I mean, look, if you like what the Rangers did going out and getting Mike Hellman, that's pro scouting. They're sending pro scouts to go check out Mike Hellman, Rowdy Tellez, all these guys. You know, Patrick Corbin. They're sending pro scouts to go check out Patrick Corbin. He's going to be a free agent. The Rangers have done well with some of their veteran bargain bin, whatever you want to call it. But they've whiffed on other deals. And that is for sure. It's undeniable. Do you bring Rowdy back, Duck? I don't think you do. I don't think you do. I think you let Rowdy walk. I think you got to find a guy that is going to be around for a long time. I don't know. Berger, I think, is probably going to be the guy again in 26. If you had to corner me on it right now, I think they probably start with Berg as their starting first baseman in 26, and they just hope for a big-time reset. I'll be very surprised if they go make a splashy move to get a big-name first baseman. I'll be shocked. Let me see. Who is us? Are y'all rooting for us in the postseason? Who is us? Got to clarify, man. Sorry, y'all are hitting me with the comments left and right. G-Man, you're welcome, and I'll continue to bring y'all coverage throughout the rest of the year. I know some of y'all are giving up already. We'll be back on Friday night to cover the Marlins series. We'll be back. We're going to finish out the year. I've been doing this too long to quit right now just because the Rangers had a bad series, and it's not looking good right now for Texas. There's no denying that, but we've come too far to quit now. Do I think the Rangers season is over? No, but I think it is very unlikely that they make the playoffs. It's very unlikely. There is a chance, but it's not looking good. You're 4.5 games out with 9 games left. That's just not very good chances at all. If the Rangers don't make the playoffs, I'm pulling for Seattle. It's going to be hard for me. I got to be honest, and y'all know there's a lot of Mariners fans that come and hang out that I enjoy and appreciate and respect. It's just hard for me to root for a division opponent. So, John, I hear you. It's just hard for me. I do not have an easy time rooting for Seattle or Houston, and I hope everybody can respect that. I just do not have an easy time cheering for any of the other teams in the AL West. It's hard. I probably would rather cheer for some random NL team, honestly, than cheer for somebody else in the AL West. It's just me. It's just me. Brian, I definitely think he deserves a lot of blame. I still say, brother, you got to look at some of the big bats that were mainstays in the lineup. You got to look at Josh Smith. You got to look at Wyatt Langford. You got to look at Jock Peterson. All guys that just did not come through in this Houston series. Yeah, that's right. Hey, John, you know what? Maybe you're changing my tune on this a little bit. Oh, Cal Raleigh, man. It would not be a show without a Cal Raleigh comp. It really won't. Root for the Brewers. There you go. I could potentially get on board with rooting for the Brewers. You know, a team that has not gotten to the promised land. I think I could probably get on board with that. It's going to be really hard for me to root for an AL West team. I'm not going to lie to you guys. What's this mean for the Rangers? They've got to win a lot of games in a little bit of time. They probably got to go about 8-1 at this point down the stretch. Maybe we'll pick up Fromber in the offseason. I don't know if the Rangers are going to be touching Fromber Valdez. That would be something else. You know what I would love to see, though? And we talked about this on the show. I don't know what Alex Bregman is going to do for Boston, if he is going to stick around or if he's going to opt out. But I would love for the Rangers to take a look at Alex Bregman. And I know that might be sacrilegious to some Rangers fans, but that dude can play ball. I think that he would help us out a ton and be an instant upgrade over just about everything else we have. Do I think Young will be back? I think he will. I think the only other option would be the Rangers trade Josh Young in the offseason. But I feel like Josh Young gets one more year. I think if he has another subpar season, and what do I mean by subpar? Bro's hitting under 700 for his OPS. That is a below average player. And historically, third base is supposed to be one of your biggest places for production in your lineup. Third base is supposed to be a big production spot for you. It's not true for every single team that's ever won a World Series, but historically, you want to have a guy at third base that's going to hit 25 bombs and is going to have a respectable batting average in OPS. Josh Young has a lot of talent and he has a lot of promise. And this is going to be the tension that the Rangers deal with in multiple different places. You've got this guy that has a lot of potential, that's young, but has been given a lot of runway and hasn't necessarily succeeded or really found a consistent stride in the league. I think Evan Carter is one of those guys as well. And there's a lot of excuses you can make. Evan Carter's been injured. Josh Young's been injured. They've only had a couple of full seasons in the league. I don't think you can play that game forever. I'm not saying get rid of Evan Carter. I'm not saying get rid of Josh Young tomorrow. What I am saying is you have to decide if that's really true or not. So the pushback I always get when I say third base should be wide open next year, because I've said that. Third base should be wide open. It should not be Josh Young locked in and permanent marker into the lineup at third base. Cody Freeman should have a chance to beat Josh Young out at third base in spring training. He should. There's no reason why he shouldn't. The Rangers should potentially look at signing a third baseman or trading for one. There's no reason why Josh Young should be locked into third base next year. We've seen him play third base full-time for about 3 seasons in a row. Yes, albeit he's had some injuries. What you've got to decide is it about the injuries, or is it just maybe that Josh Young is not going to be an all-star talent in this league? Maybe he's just going to be a good talent, an average talent. But is it going to be all-star talent? Is it going to be above average to elite talent? That's what you've got to decide. And does the risk of Josh Young having another subpar season in 2026 outweigh the risk of potentially going and getting somebody else? It's just what they're going to have to think about in the offseason. Tough decisions. Marcus Semien, the contract, Hayden, is a little bit too much for the Rangers, I think, to deal Marcus Semien. They'd have to almost release him outright. Marcus Semien is a much tougher situation. Much tougher. Yeah, Brian, you make a good point about the back. You really do. You make a good point about the back. I don't know if Evan Carter is ever going to be able to shake that. We'll see. Time will tell on that one. John Schwarber is going to be a free agent. You would think the Phillies would probably want to gobble him up and sign him to a nice deal to end his career in Philadelphia. Maybe he ends up testing free agency a little bit, but I think he likes it in Philadelphia. I think it's going to be tough to pull him away from the Phillies. I really do. Bregman going to the Yankees, I don't think that is out of left field either. I'd love to see the Rangers make a run at Bregman. I know that we played against him for so long and he's a rival. I think that is an instant upgrade over Josh Young. I think anybody telling you differently is way too biased, way too big of a homer. Bregman would be an instant upgrade over what we have right now on the roster for third base. Yeah, the wrist injury, we talked about it. John, thank you for all the comments, brother. Always great to have you on the show. Thank you for all your support over the years, man. I want to say this. Before the injury, the exit velo for Josh Young was incredible. It was outstanding. After the wrist injury, and we're talking about the wrist injury in 2024 against Tampa Bay. This is, I think, April 2024, right? Ever since then, the numbers have plummeted with exit velocity, with a lot of those other stats, barrels, and just a lot of the hitting advanced stats have just gone the opposite way for Josh. And you wonder if he's ever going to get back from it. I think that is the question. And again, the Rangers are going to have to answer in the offseason. Do they really believe that another year is going to get Josh Young to all-star status? Or do they need to cut bait and maybe move on? That is going to be the tension. Rangers did have a good streak, Henry. Sadly, it is over, man. I really wish that it wouldn't have been, but sadly. Jock Peterson should not be our DH. Yeah, look, that's what he was signed to do, and there's just not really any other place for him. You don't want Jock Peterson in the field. Now, there maybe is an argument to once again not play him as much, but I don't see it happening. I think they're going to play Jock Peterson the rest of the season, unless they get eliminated, in which case you'll probably see a lot of the vets take a seat. Yeah, JR, you're right. Jock Peterson, he did poke the bear a little bit with Houston, and he came up big empty in this series. We kind of forget about that. Jock was kind of talking a big game when he got signed with the Houston Astros. And, of course, Jock's got some bad blood with Houston from 2017, right? He's got some bad blood with the Stros, so it makes sense. That wasn't out of left field. But he surely did not back up his mouth with his play. Didn't. Jaime Garcia, Hayden says, got to go. We need to fix the holes in the lineup. Jaime and Garcia are not going to be back in 26. There's no way. No way. I do not think that is going to happen. I think you're going to get non-tenders there, or you're going to see if the Rangers can maybe get cash considerations. I think Adolis, you may be able to get a low-level prospect, possibly. Jonah Heim, I think you're going to non-tender. I don't even know if a team is going to give you cash considerations for Jonah Heim. I think you might just have to non-tender him. Astros or Seattle, at this point, I think you really are kind of either way in a bad spot. Look, neither team do you have the tiebreaker over. Had we won tonight, I would have definitely said go Seattle. I don't even really know at this point what I want to see happen in that series coming up Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I just don't even know. I think you got to see how it plays out. But right now, you got the Rangers sitting 5 games out of the division, 4.5 games out of the wild card, and you don't hold the tiebreaker over either team. You don't hold the tiebreaker over Houston. You don't hold the tiebreaker over Seattle. You do hold the tiebreaker over Boston. That's about the one saving grace. Does Boston play tomorrow? Do they play tomorrow? Clearly, they've got one more game in tow ahead of us, but we'll see what happens with that. They must play tomorrow. Let's see. Yes, they do. They play a day game tomorrow. So that would be helpful. A's, if they can get a win tomorrow, brings us back to 4 games back, and you hold the tiebreaker. That would be helpful. Get that back to 4 games. If Boston wins tomorrow, you're 5 games out with 9 games left. That really starts getting almost impossible. Boston wins tomorrow. They go up 5 games on the Rangers. They're playing the A's at 10:35 my time, 12:35 Texas time. So that's a big game to watch. If you can somehow get it back to 4 games, I think that's not great, but doable. If Boston wins tomorrow, they'll go up 5 games, and that will make the Seattle game important as well. You really need Seattle to lose tomorrow, and you need Boston to lose tomorrow. That would help a lot. Seattle is always going to be tougher because Seattle has the tiebreaker over the Rangers. So even if the Mariners lose tomorrow, you're 4 games back of the Mariners, but it's really 5 games because you don't have the tiebreaker. At least with Boston, it's a true 4 games. Right? If Boston loses tomorrow, you're 4 games back. It's a true 4. Mariners lose tomorrow. You're 4 games back of Seattle, but you actually have to think about it as 5 because of the tie break. How realistic is Real Muto to the Rangers? I sure hope it's more realistic than not. Brian, I love JT Real Muto. I would love to see it. I'd love to see them hit 82 wins too. I thought 82 wins was a lock. You got to go 3-6. I think they can do it, but still. We definitely need some hitting. 100%. Semien and Smitty, I think Smitty is at best a 7, 8, 9 hitter. Semien, I think, is definitely getting into the 5, 6, 7 hitter range. I don't think Semien is necessarily a top-of-the-order guy anymore. Cat speed, I don't think Paredes is an option. I think they like Isaac Paredes. I think Correa, maybe they'll find a spot for him somewhere else. You've got, obviously, Jordan as a DH candidate, but he's hurt a lot. I totally think that they could potentially still move forward with all those guys. I don't think they need to trade Paredes. In fact, you'd probably rather keep Paredes versus Correa, who is aging himself. So, no, I don't think that's a possibility. Rangers number 17 in the lottery right now. Yeah, you'd almost have to lose the next 9 games to really have me super excited about lottery stuff. Semien, I believe, has I think after this year is 3 years left on the contract. If I'm not mistaken, I think Semien is 3 years left on the contract, 3 full years. We'll see what the contract is real quick. I'll look it up. Marcus Semien. He is an unrestricted free agent in, looks like 2029. So we've got 6, 7, and 8. So we've got 3 full seasons left of Marcus. 3 full. All right, what do we got on TikTok? I respect you guys as a huge Astros fan. You're facing losses head on. Rohan, we always do, at least on this channel. I mean, look, I don't know who else is doing lives post-game, what other Rangers fans are doing for their content. I really don't know. Y'all would have to tell me. I do follow a couple of Rangers creators, but not a lot, and most of my spare time is creating myself. So I don't have a lot of time to keep up with other people are doing, but I'll say this. We definitely, after the tough ones, we don't duck a whole lot of anything. So I've prided myself on that, and I prided the channel on that, and I'm glad to see you guys still show up too. Be easy to not, right? And there are plenty of times where I'm watching the game happen, and the last thing you want to do is get on and talk about a miserable game. But as I always say, I end up feeling better afterwards. 10 out of 10 times, I would say. 10 out of 10, honestly. Whiskey Lady, appreciate it. Appreciate that. We are going to keep on doing this, y'all. The rest of the season, till the bitter end. Till the bitter end. Even when that elimination number hits 0, you will still see us hop on post-game. Look, we miss baseball when it's gone. And clearly there's postseason baseball to be played next month. But I miss Rangers baseball when it's gone. And long for it in the offseason. So I got to appreciate every game that we've got left of Rangers baseball this year. Because the winter gets long without the great sport. Without the national pastime that is the game of baseball. Not over for the Rangers yet, Cliff, but it ain't looking good. It ain't looking good. Chris, absolutely. If Paredes goes to first base, we maybe try to get Walker. I just don't think that the Astros are going to, first of all, trade us anybody. But I don't think that they're going to trade a lot of those guys. I really don't. Yeah, look, this was a weird season. It was a little disappointing. Like, if I look at it right now, and if you assume the Rangers aren't going to make it, which I don't want to assume yet, I think that you're going to look back on this season and feel the potential that never got reached. I think that is how I feel the most strongly right now, y'all, is I just feel like there was so much potential this year. You had so many pundits, so many talking heads, myself included, really thinking that the Rangers had a legitimate shot to make some noise this year after an extremely rough 2024, and it just never happened. And I think even, Astros fans, even people around the league that don't like the Rangers would tell you it is a little bit shocking. I'm sure they're enjoying it, but I think everybody's a little shocked at how bad the Rangers have been at times. I think that, like I said, Astros fans are loving it. Mariners fans, I'm sure, are loving it. But I think everybody is, at the end of the day, surprised that it has been this bad at times. When will they open up the checkbook? Look, that is a bit of a fallacy. The Rangers have a top 6 payroll in all of baseball. And it's obviously because of the Semien and Seager and deGrom contracts. But the Rangers have spent money. Now, you just have to deal with the aging contracts at this point. The aging players and the contracts that you gave to those players that now are not looking super great, especially with Marcus Semien, Jacob deGrom. Those are tough contracts. Rangers have spent money. Maybe they'll decide to go ahead and open it up again and go over the luxury tax, but I just don't know. Oil money. I think we're just trash talking at this point, man. That's more trash talk than analysis. That's all you hear Astros fans say. Yeah, had one good year. Yeah, again, I don't think on paper anybody thought at the beginning of this year the Rangers are going to be terrible. Nobody thought that. And I don't like to throw out insults, but anybody that predicted the Rangers are going to be god-awful this year just based on the talent on the roster, look, I really think at this point it's either just pure blind luck or you're just a hater. There's no other way to put it. Not even the wisest people in the game were predicting the Rangers to potentially finish with a losing record. And look, they're still over 500, but look, you're either hating or you're extremely lucky. Nobody that I trust in this sport, nobody that I think has a lot of wisdom in this game thought Texas was going to be like this year. Appreciate the sub, man. Thank you. Everybody's welcome. You guys know I don't mind. Astros fans, Mariners fans, fans of any team are always welcome to hang out on the show. I love the back and forth. Definitely open for debates, open for a little trash talk. But I'll tell you like it is, and I'll tell you what I'm feeling. We're probably not going to agree on everything, but that's a fun part of being a fan. I've always said that. It's the fun of being a fan, going back and forth with people, even Rangers fans sometimes, right? Some people get in their feelings and got to take off. I don't know if Don took off. He said he was unsubscribing because I'm not blaming Bochy and Josh Smith enough. All right. Do whatever you got to do. I'm definitely not a don't let the door hit you on the way out kind of guy, but I mean, look, I got other things to fry, man. I got bigger fish to fry. You got to unsub. You got to unsub. You do you, baby. We keep rolling. What is the fix for y'all for next year? Getting better players. I mean, it's so simple. It's not groundbreaking analysis. The Rangers have to upgrade. They have an issue at catcher. Adolis has not been great in right field. Third base has been a problem. The Rangers just have holes in the lineup that they need to fill. How realistic is Adley? I think it's a possibility, but you're going to have to pony up with prospects. And the Rangers have already kind of gutted the farm a little bit to go get Merrill Kelly. I don't know if the Rangers are going to want to spend more capital in the farm on a guy like Adley. I'm not sure. I think it's more realistic to go sign JT Realmuto. One good year is all you need to win the ring. 100% it is. All you need to do is win the ring. Some teams haven't even done that. And I don't even need to drop names. I'm not feeling like bagging on certain teams, but I'll just say this. There's one in our division. There's a couple still in the American League, honestly. There's a couple in the National League. There are teams that still haven't won a ring. So to me, the 2023 investigate 2023 one-hit wonder stuff has never bothered me. There's so many teams that have won a championship and haven't won one in a long time since. I mean, look at the Cardinals, right? When was the last time the Cardinals won a World Series? It was 2011. The Cardinals have not won a World Series since 2011. It's been 14 years since the Cardinals won a World Series. I mean, yeah, sure, they've won plenty of other World Series as well, but the point remains, this idea that you're going to win multiple World Series, I mean, back to back to back, it hasn't been done since forever, since the A's, who won 3 in a row way back, in the 70s? And the Yankees did it 99, 2000. And there hasn't been a team that's doubled up since. Appreciate you, JR. Thank you so much, my guy. It's hard. The Astros have had a lot of success in the mid-2010s to now, over the last 10 years. And obviously, they've won a few World Series in the mix as well. But it's hard to do. It's a rare thing to do. What Houston was able to accomplish, I mean, yeah, sure, the 2017 World Series and even other World Series, I know some people question. Regardless, the Astros are a winning organization. There's no way around it. I don't love to compliment Houston, but it's hard to deny the facts. This is a team that's been consistently good over the last 10 years. Cheating aside, there's not a whole lot that you can argue against. It's hard to do that. Franchises like Houston that have won the division as many times as they have over the past 10 years, they're not a dime a dozen. And so anybody that's trash talking the Rangers for being bad the last 2 years after winning the World Series doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It's hard to do. And the teams that do it are rare and few and far between. We keep rolling. Chris, absolutely. Absolutely. Appreciate you, JR. Look, I can respect. I can give respect out. I 100% can. I don't have to like it. I don't have to love it. But I can surely respect good stuff when I see it. I mean, I think right after the game was over, for all y'all that were hanging out during the game, Jeremy Pena, I got nothing but respect for that guy. I was a little bit, After the year he had last year, I know he won World Series MVP a couple years ago, but after the year he had last year, I was a little down on him. Even at the beginning of this year when he got out to the hot start, I was still doubting. I'm not doubting anymore. Jeremy Pena is a ball player, man. A lot of respect to him. He torched us this series. That play he had to end the game was beautiful. You tip your cap. Not a whole lot else you can do. Bochy didn't do a post-game interview? Really? Wow. Yeah, Don, I think I clarified with the cheating stuff. I mean, clearly in the late 2010s, the 2017 World Series, I don't think there's a whole lot of denying there was some trash can banging going on. But, I mean, look, the World Series that the Astros have won since then, I find it pretty hard to say they're illegitimate. In 2017, look, it's too bad because the Astros had a good team in 2017. Who knows if they would have won the World Series without some of the methods they were using, but they were still a talented team in 2017. Make no mistake about it. They had a lot of really good players, but yeah, hard to say they win a World Series without some of the methods, but that's why I said I look at the body of work. Regardless of those things, they've been winning the division year after year, seemingly. And they've won some World Series since all that investigating went down and since all the penalties and stuff got handed out. So it is what it is. Good series, man. Absolutely, Dylan. Good luck to y'all, too. Good game, good series. It's unfortunate the Rangers can't even win one. You just had to win one game to get the silver boot. I can only imagine. I mean, I've got some really good buddies that are Astros fans. I love them anyways. God bless them. But I think just putting myself in their shoes, if you're an Astros fan, you got to be beside yourself with the sweep, taking the silver boot, being in first place. I mean, I can empathize. You got to be feeling pretty good if you're a Astros fan tonight. M's taking 2 from them this weekend. Jake, don't they have Hunter and Fromber throwing? That could be interesting. I'll definitely have my eye on the Houston-Seattle series. We'll be talking about it on the show. So, hey, any of my Astros fans that want to come back, we'll be talking Astros-Mariners this weekend. We have to. And it directly affects Texas. So, we will be talking about Astros-Mariners this weekend for sure. No live tomorrow. At least I'm not planning on it. We'll see if something crazy happens, but probably not. Probably off day for us tomorrow. And then we will get back in the saddle on Friday for the Marlins series. That's kind of the plan. Fromber's going to give up 10 runs. Your dog glazer, man. I think that it's going to be a really good series. I am actually very interested in watching that series. It's going to be playoff baseball. And I've told you guys, even when the Rangers aren't in it, it does depress me. But then I kind of slowly start getting over it, and I just start appreciating the game. And I enjoy watching the postseason, even when my teams aren't in it. Doesn't mean I'm hoping the Astros win or the Mariners win at all, but I just like watching good baseball. So once I have my mourning period for the Rangers, and look, they still have a shot, but once I go through that, then I can start enjoying baseball again, and I always do in October, always. What do we do with Marcus Semien next year? We hope that he gets better. I mean, that's all you can do, Duck. You're not going to get anybody to take him off your hands. Nobody's taking Marcus Semien's contract unless you gave them like Sebastian Walcott. I think a team might take Marcus Semien's contract if you want to give them Walcott or you want to give them 2 of your top 5. I don't think that any team is touching that contract otherwise. Buy low on Sandy, Ethan, possibly. And look, we don't know what their plans are for Merrill Kelly. I think that Merrill is going to need to have a couple of good starts here down the stretch for the Rangers to want to, or at least feel good about giving him a lot of money. I feel bad for Merrill. This is obviously a contract year for him, and I like Merrill Kelly. I was very, very depressed that he did not do well yesterday. It just happens sometimes to go that way, but Merrill in a contract year needs to have a couple of good starts here to end the season. I don't know if they are going to be able to re-sign him with his asking price. We'll see what happens, though. Rangers definitely need to play better on the road next year. Brian, 100%. I think that there's a lot of debate about it. I still say at the end of the day, we don't love the Astros. We don't like the Astros. But it's hard not to respect what they've been able to do, maybe post-cheating era. They win the division every year, regardless of cheating. I know that's what some Rangers fans do not want to hear, but I tip my cap. They find a way to get it done. Look, they showed up this series. The Rangers didn't. That sucks to say out loud, but it is what it is. Ezekiel Duran has a batting average of .318 in September, but he only hits off the bench. That's kind of the Bochy stuff coming into play there. All right, y'all. Truth does hurt sometimes. Connor, I surely hope that ends up happening, brother, but it's going to take a miracle. It is going to take a miracle. Don't disrespect Jason Alexander, 4-1, 275 as an Astro. Yeah, but I don't think the body of work is there to be giving him a ton of respect. I mean, look, props to him for having a good start to the year and all that, but yeah, I don't think anybody is going to be bowing down to Jason Alexander. I mean, you got to do it a little bit more consistently. You're talking about a guy that obviously pitched well the other night and has had a couple of good starts in a row, no doubt. But I don't know why we're getting on the hill for Jason Alexander, man. I mean, dude had a great couple of starts. What more do you want? Why does Jacques continue to get at bats? Don, I honestly don't think they really have a whole lot of anybody else. I mean, look, you could put in, I guess, other people, but I don't know that they're going to do a whole lot better. All right, y'all. Hey, Friday, let's talk about it real quick. We already said tomorrow Rangers are off, but you got big games from Seattle. You got a big game with Boston against the A's tomorrow, so we'll definitely be doing some scoreboard watching, but the Rangers are off. You really need Seattle and Boston especially. Boston really is the big one. You need Boston to drop a game tomorrow. If Boston wins, the Rangers are 5 games out of a playoff spot. And I know that the Mariners are right now 4.5 up. The Mariners win, they go 5 up, and then you're really 6 back of the Mariners because of the tie break. So Boston's really the game tomorrow, although I wouldn't mind seeing Seattle drop a game. But Friday night, Tyler Mahle is going to be making his first start since, I believe, the beginning of June. So I will be interested to watch his start. I can't imagine he's going to go for more than 4 or 5 innings, but we shall see. The Rangers bullpen will be rested. Hopefully it can be a game that the Rangers get back on track for. There's really nothing to go through in terms of lineups. Mahle has not faced any of the Marlins hitters, and the Marlins have not announced a starter for Friday night, so we can't even do the Rangers numbers against the opposing pitcher tonight. But we'll say this, the Marlins are 71-80 on the year, firmly out of the playoff race. Not a whole lot to play for. That can be dangerous. You cannot take the Marlins or the Twins coming up, the next 2 series at home, for granted. You got to win the games that are in front of you 1 game at a time. Rangers can really only afford to lose 1 more game over the last 9. 2, I think, max, but that's pushing it. You really need to basically go 8-1 to have a shot. Is it possible? Yes, it is. Is it easy? Absolutely not. So we'll see if the Rangers, they have that mettle, they have that grit to get it done. But I will say this, I appreciate all you guys hanging out. If you haven't hit that follow button yet, please do, man. We'd love to see you again on Friday. We'll also be going live this weekend for football, both college football. We cover the Texas Longhorns here on the show. We also cover the Dallas Cowboys here on the show. So we will be live this weekend for football as well. We'll see what time the games are on Friday. I'll kind of go through when I'll be going live for everything over the weekend, but that's the plan. So thank you so much for hitting that follow. A bunch of y'all I know have followed. Thank you for the ones that have given gifts on the show too. JR, Maggie, I don't know who's still hanging out. And there's a couple other people that gave gifts as well. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys. What do we got? 7,600 likes. That's what's up. Pretty close to 10K, man. Can't complain at all. 7,700 now. Appreciate all y'all. Hey, we'll see you guys on Friday. Hope you have a good rest of your work week, a good Thursday tomorrow, and hopefully next time I am live, we'll be talking about the Rangers in the lead, getting back on track against the Marlins. That's the plan. We'll watch tomorrow. Hopefully the A's can do us a solid against the Red Sox. Hopefully the Royals can do us a solid against the Mariners. I believe the Astros have the day off as well tomorrow before they start their 3-game set against Seattle. We'll be watching that series too. But have a good night tonight. Thanks for hanging out. And as I always say to end every show, God bless. Go Rangers.